Coming up on LiveWire, we've got a great show for you today. We're going to be talking with some folks from a wonderful place. I've been there. It's huge and it's unknown, but you have to go. You really have to write this down. Go get something to write on, okay? We're going to be talking about the Sojourner Truth Art Museum. And then we're going to talk about a program that they're going to be putting on called the first annual Banana Festival. You know, I like cinnamon on my banana. It's so good. So stay tuned for LiveWire. We'll be back right after this important message. We're here with you, and it's called LiveWire. I'm Ray Tatter, and with me in the studio are folks from the Sojourner Truth Art Museum, Multicultural Art Museum, and they have an exhibit now, and the exhibit is called History of African Women of Color, and they brought Joe Pollakoff, who is an artist, and is also, did you curate the show?
Yes, I did.
And hang it?
We have some exhibits going around. There's actually, this is just a portion of the exhibit.
Oh, these pictures that are painted. Yeah, okay, great. We'll talk about that. And Shauna, you are the executive director of the museum, and
yes,
that must be a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun. It really is. It's a lot of work.
Sure.
But we do it for the children and the youth in our community, so it's well worth it.
Hey, what about me? I'm an adult. I'm an older adult. Do you
for older adults
museum
too.
For me too?
Definitely.
I'm just drawing you out. And Kyle, tell me, Kyle, how do you get interested in a multicultural art museum?
I worked with Shona at an old nonprofit at the time, and she mentioned that they were turning her art center that they had been working on for about 20 years, and they were going to turn that into a museum, and she needed people to help out. And I'm not much of an artist myself, but you know they're really encouraging and opening and said, hey, you know, we need help, any help. So I took the shot and been helping them since.
So a little outreach and brought you in, huh?
Yeah.
As an artist as well.
Good. Well, it's important for artists to be involved in an art museum. So many of them end up in the hands of, should we say, bureaucrats? I hate to use that term because, you know, it used to be a kind of a okay word, but now we use it as a pejorative. I don't know about that, except to say that it is true that many administrators take over artistic functions when they really need us folks with the left and right brain clicking back and forth.
I agree with that.
So tell me, how do you do the exhibits? Give me an overview of the museum. Where is it?
We're actually located in South Sacramento. We're at 2251 Florin Road, right off of 24th and Florin Road. We are, again, all about the children and the youth in our community, the seniors, the artists. And the artists, they make what we do happen. If it wasn't for all the artists in our community, we wouldn't be able to do what we do.
Yeah. So do you have revolving exhibits?
We do. We are excited to say that we do celebrate Sacramento Museums Day each year. That's the first Saturday in February, and we're currently going to be preparing for that right after the Banana Festival. We're looking forward to showcasing Joe's exhibit. You want to tell them a little bit about that, Joe?
Well, we have actually a few exhibits that we're going to be promoting that day. We're going to have, we have the African American Women exhibit of history going through the time of Calithea, who California was named after, to in the Americas, through slavery, and then through the whole last century, almost every 10 years, how significant black women have been. We have that. We also have an international one exhibit showing different women of African ancestry, their importance of history. And now we also have a Sojourner Truth exhibit as well.
That's wonderful. Let's talk about these paintings. They're very interesting. And why don't we, if you wouldn't mind, Adrienne, poke the camera and get a close-up on one of these, and we can move from one to the other. Why don't we talk about the one just below my feet here? That's it. This has something to do with England, right?
It does. That's actually an English queen, and there was a black English queen. Her name was Charlotte. She was married to King George III. The Buckingham Palace was actually made for her. He was so enamored with her. Obviously, she's quite beautiful. As well as she was the patroness to Bach and Beethoven. And that's why I have this gentleman here presenting something to her. What's interesting, she's the great-grandmother of the current queen we have right now.
My God, great. It's
and
nice to know that.
And I don't want to go too long, but she's always been depicted as white. And the reason is in England at that time, people were not familiar with Africans or people of African ancestry, and they thought she was plain, and they called her the plain queen, and they thought they'd do her a favor by painting her as a white woman.
Wow, that is amazing. They do her a favor. So that's great, okay, and then let's go to another one and have a look at that. That one looks kind of watery in the middle there. Yeah. That's
actually not a specific individual, but I did model it after Mami Wata, who is an African goddess, and she was kind of like one of the first mermaids, believe it or not, and she bestowed beauty and riches upon single women and married women and men too, and she would take those things away if you misused it.
Yeah, as all good goddesses should do.
Yeah.
Great, I love these things. And Joe, these will be on exhibit at the event that you're going to have.
Well, they're going to be now, yes.
Okay, good. Let's have a look at the next one.
That right there is Arsinoe, who is in the swing, and who's pushing her is Cleopatra. And Arsinoe is Cleopatra's sister. Recently, I think it was within the last, about 14 months, they excavated Arsinoe's bones, did DNA testing, and there's also a way to determine by the bones the way they look, but they determined she was about 80% black, which is interesting because it kind of casts a new light on Cleopatra as well. Cleopatra, though, eventually killed her sister as well as her brother. Well, she didn't kill her. She had her boyfriend do it.
Oh, it's easy enough.
Yeah.
So that's very interesting. Also, within the last little bit, they've starting to part of her castle was underwater, and they found all kinds of things. So here, what is this?
That is Califia, and California was named after her. Cortez was looking for her on his way to the New World, and he was reading the book all about her. I couldn't pronounce it very well, and I would embarrass everybody if I did. And everything on her island, all the metal was gold. Men were not allowed on her island because they caused discourse, except they'd allow them on for about an hour to mate. Then they would have to leave. Sometimes they were allowed to do manual labor. She was an Amazon warrior. She was also the biggest woman on the island, and she was also considered the most beautiful woman in the world.
Well, it's good to name our state after that. That sounds like an okay thing, don't you think?
I think so.
I think so.
The Golden State. So, this exhibit notwithstanding, what are the other things that the museum does?
Well, we are a museum of murals, actually. We have over 4,000 square feet of murals depicting all diverse cultures. So we have about, I would say, anywhere from 4 to 5 schools that come through a month for tours. The tours take about 45 minutes to an hour. And it's just a wonderful place to come and get information on all of the different diverse cultures and our community. That's what it's all about.
So, Kyle, let me ask you a question. And are you the one that contacts the schools and sets up all of the buses coming in? And
I'm actually not. Shona actually, she does a lot of that.
You do all that
work.
hard labor?
I do. And what we do, we actually, we're in a building with about 60 other nonprofits. So the word gets out. Nice. And we get calls and we get emails, and I just send them over to our coordinator for the tours. We have a few youth that help to coordinate the tours, as well as artists, and they make it happen.
Wow.
She also has a huge outreach with children. There's like a school going on she works with. There's outreach all the time to different community events as well as to the libraries locally. We work basically with the community in all different types of events. And Shona didn't mention this, and I'm really proud of this. They've never charged one child 1 cent who's been there. And how many thousands have been gone through the museum?
We serve about 12,000 children and youth each year for free.
Wow.
Yes. And we have year-round programs. And so currently we actually have our summer camp going on. We're in our 9th year. And this year, I'm proud to say, we're partnering with Martin Luther King Library. So the kids are not only getting art, but they're getting math and reading as well. So,
and we're going to have to take a break right now.
Yes.
I want to thank you, Joe, thank you, Shona, and thank you, Kyle, for talking to me about the museum. And then we're going to talk about the Banana Festival, or we're going to actually learn more about the Banana Festival right after we take this break. Thanks. All right, we'll get some information for you, so stay tuned for LiveWire. We'll be back right after this.
Listen up, energy hogs. Get in there and waste some energy.
There's no insulation, boss. It's hog heaven.
Time to tan.
Keep wasting. They'll never know what hit them.
What the?
Boss, they're home, and they've got energy-efficient bulbs. Ah!
You've got the power to get rid of energy hogs. You can add insulation and lots of other things. Get the tips you need at energyhog.org and play fun games, too. Get the energy hogs out of your home.
Hey, wait for me!
Hello, I'm Community Television.
And I'm Corporate Media. The channels I own serve as my personal mouthpiece. I tell you what I've told you you want to know.
Wow, that sounds really great for you. I carry local programming by local people and provide a forum for diverse community dialogues that anyone can participate in.
Really local, huh? Well, I own stations all over the country, so my programming is designed to be generic and appealing to the majority. It keeps my corporate advertisers happy.
I connect people to their communities by televising local government meetings and community events, things that would otherwise never be shown on TV.
Huh. Well, I could never do that. But hey, everything I show is carefully screened through focus groups gathered from NASCAR races and Walmart parking lots. I suppose you let just about anybody on TV.
That's right, we do. Community television makes production facilities and training available to every member of the community, who can then produce their own programming and have it televised free of charge.
Well, that sounds terribly unprofitable.
Oh, corporate media. It's not always about money.